A warm welcome to all the Libra rising signs of our zodiac to your astrology for the month of May on Cosmic Girl 101. Trust you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be talking about the planets in transits, focusing on your ruling planet Venus in this video for you. And all these planetary transits and alignments, what they actually mean for the Libra rising sign. So let's get into it. We'll talk first about Venus, your ruling planet. I'm assuming that's why you're here. You'd like to know what's going on with your ruling planet Venus as a Libra rising. But first things first, before we talk about Venus, most of the action for you is happening in the third quadrant of your natal chart, if you're a Libra rising. So the focus is on the 10th house, the 9th house, the 8th house, and the 7th house. And there's going to be other planetary aspects and alignments in the month of May, but that third quadrant is your focus for the month. And if you consider the third quadrant, well, this is a place in your natal chart that's focused predominantly in connections with other people, because this is getting to the top of your chart. So the 7th house for you is other people and relationships. The 8th house is other people's resources. The 9th house is taking your philosophies and beliefs about the bigger things in life, like world travel, higher education, foreigners, foreign places, and the spiritual path. And then the 10th house, where all of the 7th, 8th, 9th houses intertwine into the 10th house. And that's your identity. It's a very public house, the 10th house, and it's your career zone. And it's also the house of achievement. So if you factor in house 7, 8, 9, and then it gets to 10, that first quadrant, then what you're putting out there on display, if you will, to the world or in the public arena, well, those factors of house 9, 8, and 7 are going to be influencing how you show up on the world stage, how you present yourself. So that's your focus for the month of May. Okay, so let's talk about your ruling planet before we get into the daily transits. Venus continues her transit in Aries in the 7th house of other people in relationships. Now, Venus, she's your cosmic avatar in this incarnation, if you will, if you're a Libra rising. So wherever Venus is transiting and what house she's in and what shape she's in, if she likes being in this particular zodiac sign and it dries with her, then you're going to feel pretty flowy. But your ruling planet Venus is in Aries, and your planet naturally has a opposition to the ruling planet of Aries, which is Mars. So your ruling planet is focused on uniting with people, and it's in the relationship house, so this is good. And your ruling planet is really aware of the value of relationships and other people that you can connect with. That's a good thing. And Venus really likes to really, I just lost for words then, Libra rising. Venus is attracted to things of beauty and things of pleasure. And that is in your 7th house of other people and your relationships. These are all great attributes that your ruling planet in this incarnation for you as Libra rising is. This is where you have your cup filled up with relationships with other people and finding the value in beauty and things that you love and valuing yourself. And that has a knock-on effect, if you will, to other parts of your life, because other people that you interact with, I'm sure to some degree you hold in high regard that they are to have the same moral and ethical compass as you, which is high standards, peace, and unity. So that's quite lovely. But then you put Venus in a Mars zodiac sign. then we've got this oppositional polar opposite tension going on. And Venus will be in Aries in your 7th house for the whole month of May. So she's not shifting until the 5th of June when she ingresses into Taurus. And we'll be talking about that in June's rising sign astrology for you. So if you're not subscribed, then hit that bell notification. You'll get the latest postings. You can also subscribe. Okay. So we know all the qualities that you have. They're part of who you are. And when your ruling planet is transiting in your 7th house of Aries, then things become really quite obvious that relationships in your life and other people really are quite quick and aggressive and take action without really seeing the forest for the trees. So you might be quite aware, if you will, of how other people are really hasty, whereas you're more patient. You'll read between the lines. You'll instinctively, intuitively tune in to you and how you feel with this transit, because it's your relationships and other people around you. I think that you're experiencing a lot of heat. And whilst that can be exciting, you also start to identify and just how different you are and how individual you are with relationships and other people. So you might be really good at drawing some boundaries, learning to say no, and not engage when people are really exacerbating and saying, hey, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. And you'll be more aware of just how maybe naive those relationships and other people are around you, whereas you're a little bit more diligent. So it could be tricky for you to find some really nice balance with this transit, with your ruling planet Venus transiting in Aries in your 7th house for the whole month of May. So that's like a footnote for this video. That's primarily where your focus is, because Venus isn't leaving Aries until the 5th of June next month. So this is an ongoing balancing act that you are trying to make a reality for you with you and other people. Maybe giving other people enough information to understand that you're not as excited to jump in where angels fear to tread. You're a little bit more focused on the long-term repercussions of taking actions quickly. So really interesting transit for the Libra risings in the month of May with your ruling planet staying put in Aries in your 7th house. Okay, and the other planet that's also next to your ruling planet Venus is Mercury, and Mercury is in Aries in his 7th house. Very different planet from your planet Mercury, and Mercury does better in Aries than your planet does. So think of Mercury in your relationship and other people in that 7th house in your natal chart. And Mercury's really strong. So those relationships and other people might really be throwing financial opportunities towards you, giving you paperwork and correspondence, and sort of like pushing their agenda with evidence through hard copies, like look at the facts and the figures, look at the financial potential, look at the social opportunities. We can travel. Like, it's like people around you are really selling you a product. And Mercury's quite strong here. So if you're half in, half out regarding taking on a connection or an agreement, then I would be really trusting your instincts here. I mean, you've got free will, of course, but because Mercury's really strong in Aries and your ruling planet Venus isn't, it just feels like you're getting a lot of lip service here that's super enticing. So watch for that, because Mercury in Aries, really passionate 1 minute and then fizzles out really quickly. So this also indicates that You could be getting a lot of offers or opportunities coming towards you quite quickly as well with this transit with Mercury in Aries. Astrologically, and from one human being to another, Libra rising, from your Cosmic Girl 101 to you, read the fine print. Look at the longevity of the agreement. Are you able to get out of it? Is there any loopholes here that you're not aware of? Get other second opinions before you really sign on the dotted line is what I would advise with these planetary transits going through your seventh house of other people in relationships. Really interesting. So your ruling planet's staying put in Aries, but Mercury's moving on. So Mercury moves on really quickly in the month of May and into Taurus, and then it moves into Gemini. So you can see how quickly Mercury is moving. So that's why forewarned is forearmed metaphor would be really wise to adopt with Mercury in Aries when it comes to signing on the dotted line, putting a ring on it, or shaking hands. Okay, so again, that's just a little footnote. Now let's get into all of the excitement of the planetary transits in the month of May. From the 1st to the 3rd of May, your ruling planet Venus is conjuncting Neptune. If there's any a day where you could be hoodwinked, swept away by relationships and other people, this would be it. I'm laughing because it's a double-edged sword because Venus is in Aries and we've got relationships and other people around you really throwing you some bait. They're really breadcrumbing you, the carrots dangling you, and it's just might feel like this dream's too good to be true. I'm with you there. I'm with you. I understand this is fantastical. And that's the key. It is fantastical. Heads up, Libra rising. Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces in your 6th house of work. So that should give you an astrological torchlight into what's happening here. I wouldn't be sucked into anything from the 1st to the 3rd of May. So watch for what a wonderful idea. And then Neptune's going to go back into your 6th house of work and labor. So easy does it from the 1st to the 3rd. On the 4th, Pluto goes retrograde in Aquarius, and this retrograde happens and lasts, to the 13th of October. Interesting because this is in your house of joy and pleasure, things that give you joy and pleasure. It's like where you feel childlike, where you get your muse from, what excites you, what stimulates you. And you've got Pluto here for 20 years, Libra rising, and Pluto's going retrograde from the 4th of May to the 13th of October. So think of that house where you really just go, oh, you giggle with fun and joy and delight. And it's wonderful. And it's Aquarius, which is about the people, humanitarianism. It's intellectual stimulation. Aquarius loves to look at the future. Aquarius factors in the past whilst it is heading towards the future. It's got that balancing act, Aquarius. But Aquarius is very cool, very, very calm, knows its shit. So when we're talking about your 5th house of joy and pleasure, where you know what's what when it comes to ticking your individual boxes, Libra rising. But this Pluto retrograde in Aquarius indicates that things that really do stimulate you and give you a lot of pleasure and joy is really being considered quite seriously when it comes to how people that are nearest and dearest to you, like your children, if applicable, or even the thought of having children if you don't have any yet, or your romantic connections, your intimate partnerships. Those topics and subjects are an extension of joy and pleasure. Children give you joy and pleasure, and so do your intimate relationships. So when Pluto goes into a retrograde, from the 4th to the 13th of October this year, there's possibly you or a partner or even a child, if applicable, are taking a bit of a hiatus from being so future oriented and so humanitarian, and everyone's in it together and being intellectual, and they may start showing a different side to themselves. So, and even when it comes to your own personal joy and pleasure pursuits, Libra rising, things start to shift and change with Pluto retrograde. Like things that you always go to for enjoyment, you start to get a taste for something else. And so do your intimate relationships and children, if applicable. Even your creative pursuits, things start to shift and change a little bit, which might open up the doors for you. And being more singular, more concentrated, and not factoring in the big picture in the future. You're sort of living in the now when it comes to joy and pleasure, and even your intimate relationships and children, if applicable. You're sort of just harnessing the energy of now. Pluto is a planet, it's like the ghost in the room. You don't see Pluto, he's very subterranean, he's beneath the surface. So when he's retrograde, it's like for the Libra risings, you're really considering living in the now and not being so interested in far reaching outside of yourself for seeking pleasure and joy. It's sort of coming from within you. So this looks great for really enjoying more intimacy with your partner, if you have a partner. If you don't, then you might be interested in just filling your own cup up with Pluto retrograde here. And this just bodes well for you just being more present and enjoying pleasure on the day to day. So that in itself just absolutely looks wonderful for you, Libra rising, with Pluto retrograde from the 4th to the 13th of October this year. I would enjoy that. This looks like you guys, if you're an intimate relationship, might just be focusing on the bedroom, intimacy, sex and pleasure. If you have a steady relationship, this would be great. And if you don't, then I just think this is about you being okay with flying solo at the moment and not extending your reach so far in seeking out people, places, and faces to fill your cup up. So quite nice. On the 5th, your ruling planet Venus is having a really nice harmonious aspect on this day because Venus is sextiling Pluto retrograde in Aquarius in your 5th house of joy and pleasure. In your 5th house on the 5th, ooh, synchronistic. You know, 5s in numerology. I know we're talking about astrology here, but 5s in numerology are about change. So when your ruling planet, Venus, is sextiling retrograde Pluto, this indicates relationships and other people are easy to reach. So I think you might start to have a lot more closeness and possibly really considering the depths of a relationship or a relationship with a child, or the thought of having children if you don't have any as yet. So the 5th can be quite gooey. That's what I'm getting for you, Libra rising. On the 10th, Mercury leaves Aries. So your ruling planet Venus is the only planet transiting through the zodiac sign of Aries for the month of May. So Mercury moves on into Taurus in your 8th house of other people's resources. So the information, the communication, the action, the socializing, the money becomes a big focus for other people. And this indicates that those relationships and partnerships around you are really doubling down on their wants and their needs and their goals. So a partner or a significant relationship that is connected to you, Libra rising, might be really focused on looking at the realities of their financial future. And this might also be interesting information for you as well, because if it is a partner or a relationship of any kind that is giving you a dose of reality about their finances, then it's going to impact you in some way, shape, or form, I'm sure. So if a partner or relationship is ready to go as far as taking on a new financial path, or they're changing something up very quickly, then this would be a great time to communicate and maybe work together at looking at the fine print and the repercussions of what they're about to put a lot of energy in regards to building wealth for themselves that influences you. So interesting when Mercury ingresses into Taurus on the 10th of May into your 8th house. But again, Mercury moves very quickly. So whatever's happening here from the 10th to the 26th of May, because that's how long Mercury stays in Taurus, is really quick. On the 26th, he's going into the 9th house. And this is about beliefs and faith in the bigger picture. And that takes a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to things like things that are foreign places, foreign people, higher education, travel, spiritual beliefs and values, philosophy. So even if there is something like put across the table that someone near to you is considering something quite big for their future, when we get to the 26th of May, you might see a shift in their attitude. Like, can this really happen? Do I believe I can make this happen? So you might be really shouldering or supporting someone here to keep going in their trajectory. So keep the faith. So this indicates that something quite big is happening for a significant relationship in your life or other people with an agreement or contract. So it's a big deal. On the 12th, we have a full moon in Scorpio. This is at 22 degrees. And this full moon's lighting up your part of your natal chart that's about your livelihood, your finances, and your tangible possessions, like things that you physically own. Interesting full moon because the sun is only bright because it reflects the sun. A moon is only bright because it reflects the sunshine, and its sun is in Taurus in the 8th house of other people's resources. Interesting, really, really. And Mercury is also there too at the time of this full moon on the 12th as well in Taurus next to the sun. So this sort of gives you a little bit of a layer of what's going on here for you on the 12th of May. So Scorpio is a zodiac sign that has a lot of layers. There's a lot of depth to Scorpio. It's very clandestine. It's very secretive. It's all about getting to the truth and bringing the gunk from beneath the surface to the top of the surface so it doesn't sit and fester. It can be purged and released and purified once it's acknowledged. So this full moon in Scorpio, that very deep zodiac sign, in your second house is really illuminating and really heightening your emotions because the moon is connected to emotions. It's connected to your body. So your body physically, Libra rising, might be quite you may feel like you're about to verbalize something from the depths about your livelihood, your possessions, and your finances on this day. And you could feel like you need to protect something here or conceal something. And why that's happening? Well, the moon's only bright because it reflects the sunshine. It's because the sun and Mercury in other people's resources may start to make you feel nervous, not confident, like you're not really sold, which is what I think is going on for you, Libra rising in the month. You're half in, you're not super convinced. And I think on the 12th, you might be doubling down on protecting and concealing your livelihood, your finances and your possessions. So this could also indicate for Libra risings that someone's trying to lean on you for financial support, or may be affecting in some way, shape, or form your livelihood. So it's going to be the 12th of May, an interesting full moon for you, where you really might be doubling down on resisting taking on other people's resources or other people's stuff. Is sort of being super, super protective here when it comes to things that you find near and dear to you. So it looks like you're not playing nice and not sharing on the 12th. I wouldn't be too surprised with that, looking at the astrology and the planets in transits for you. So you do you on the 12th of May. On the 20th, the sun leaves Taurus and ingresses into Gemini in your 9th house for 4 weeks. Now, the sun is about our spirit, our purpose, our sense of life force, and it just gives us a lot of, it's almost invisible enthusiasm towards moving in your life, and then what the sun is directed towards in moving in your life through its transit through all of the zodiac signs. Well, now on the 20th, it's focused on Gemini, your 9th house. So Gemini is a spring zodiac sign. It's very young, very fertile zodiac sign, Gemini. It's shiny ball syndrome. That's Gemini. It likes variety and stimulation. It's interested in multiculturalism. It's interested in diversity. There's nothing more exciting for a Gemini than options and intel and information and social opportunities. Gemini loves this, and but that's very young, a very young Gemini, very young zodiac sign. It's a spring zodiac sign. So when the sun ingresses here from the 20th of May for 4 weeks in your 9th house of foreign people, places and faces, travel, higher education, your spiritual path, your moral and ethical compass, what do you believe in, what do you have faith in. That sun's just really lighting that 9th house up. And soon enough, Mercury will be joining the sun in your 9th house. We'll get to that soon. So with the sun, it's all about, but look at the richness of the bigger things in your life. The sun encourages you to be optimistic, if you will, about expansion, whether that's physical, spiritual, or mental. The sun really gives you almost like the key to the world with this transit, and you can feel like, wow, there's really nothing stopping me here. So you could feel like that itch, you could feel like the fire under your feet to research travel destinations, higher education, maybe start a new spiritual path, or learn a new language, or, maybe welcome in new foreign people around you, for example, or get to know your neighbors, that sort of thing. New people move into the neighborhood. But that sun is all about, well, look, there's just so much around you. The world is ripe with opportunity. So I could just feel that fever pitch with the sun in the 9th house of, I can open up, I can look at the bigger things. And the sun in Hellenistic astrology, at least, is in its joy in the 9th house, and it's the house of God. So it can be really quite deep and spiritual with this transit, where you just feel maybe you want to take on something really spiritual, something that ticks your boxes with this transit. And it's exciting because Gemini is all about excitement. Let's do something. There's so much to do. They look at life with a half glass full instead of half glass empty metaphor. That's what's happening here for 4 weeks with the sun in Gemini in your 9th house. So I would expect a lot of stimulation. You'll sort of feel the pull to really click into God. What is God for you? And maybe just go down a new spiritual path. It's wonderful. Enjoy that from the 20th of May to the 20th of June. From the 20th to the 24th, your ruling planet Venus in Aries is trining Mars, the ruler of Aries. And Mars is currently transiting in the zodiac sign of Leo in your 11th house. So this is lovely because they've got the two opposite planets here talking in harmony with one another. So this is good. So if you've been waiting for a moment to um, get more information about an agreement or a partner has, this will be the 4 days where some pretty clear information and clarity comes about to make you feel a little bit more confident, maybe about making certain strides forward with your plans with other people or other people around you. So there's 4 days of the month are awesome for coming to peace as well, liberalizing with, you know, my partner is the way they are. I'm not here to change them. I'm here to balance with them. So this could also see a resolution of disputes or differences of opinions from the 20th to the 24th, which is quite lovely. Who doesn't like that when everything settles down on the 20th to the 24th of May? Really nice. With the two cosmic lovers linking nicely. And that 11th house as well, linking to the 7th house. Yeah, this could also indicate that it's beneficial. It's beneficial to maybe partner up or agree to a goal. So this just feels like you may have been sitting on the fence for a while, and the 20th, 24th feels like a shift changes where things become better and you sort of become all in on the 20th to the 24th, maybe. I mean, I don't know your natal chart. If you want a natal reading with me, please contact me at cosmico101@protonmail.com. But interesting. Either way, we'll take it. The two cosmic lovers, Mars and Venus, the two opposite planets coming into harmony. So expect things, if they've been a little bit to start to balance out. Also on the 24th, we have Mercury conjunct Uranus. This is we know that Mercury is really focused and other people's resources are really focused on starting something. And when you can see other people around you making some really quick changes, that indicates that there's no stopping this train now feeling on the 24th, because if other people's resources that are intimately connected to you take really quick, acute action, then it's going to have a knock-on effect with you. So I don't think there's anything stopping this freight train from moving forward with a partner. I think it's all systems go here. Okay. Also on the same day, we've got Saturn ingressing into Aries, and this feels so poetic, really liberalizing, because Saturn's ingressing into Aries also on the 24th. And a heads up, Saturn also, like Neptune, will be retrograding back into the 6th house of Pisces. So something for now is not set in stone, just like with Neptune transiting in Aries. Nothing's set in stone. They're both going back to Pisces in your house of work, service. Okay. So Saturn will be in the zodiac sign of Aries in your 7th house from the 24th of May, moving forward. And Saturn in Aries is a new commitment, a really big commitment to a goal, to a dream, an alliance. As social component of your life, there's something brand new opening up here on the 24th. And if you're connecting the planetary alignments dots up to this date, I just think this is the moment, Libra rising, where you or a partner or a relationship in your life that's super important and intimate to you is starting a brand new journey. This is it. The fact that Saturn will go back into Pisces indicates that there will be a change up for 5 months, 5 months when Saturn retrogrades this year. So this just feels like a soft opening. It's official, but it's not official. There's going to be teething problems and adjusting points, whatever's starting here for you and a partner or a partner or even an agreement. So dipping your toes into something new that's got a gravitas to it, because it is Saturn, and Saturn's all about let's build something new together. Let's build a new structure. And let's just get excited about doing things that feel like good, that feel like you can build something of worth here. So it's quite lovely, really. But there'll be some adjustment points. Simple. So if you have a new relationship, a new partnership, or a partnership in your life, a relationship in your life is going through something new, then like anything new, that's really quite big. Because I would imagine this new beginning is big, and considering all the um, someone trying to sell you something, or you really trying to get involved with it, with something anchoring. Um, this is a serious decision. It's because it's long term. Saturn's here for quite some time, and Saturn's no BS. Saturn demands results, but it is a fresh new Saturn, because Saturn hasn't been in Aries in his seventh house, Libra rising, for 30 years. So if you can reflect back, if you're old enough, what was going on in 1996 and 1998, well, that cycle's done regarding a relationship or an agreement or a contract or a partner. The cycle's over, it's run its course, and now you're starting something brand new, building something different and new for yourself. So lovely. On the 26th, Mercury then leaves Taurus and then ingresses into Gemini in that ninth house, joining the Sun. So now Mercury's in a really strong position here, as he was in Aries, in his seventh house. Well, now he's really strong in Gemini in the ninth house, because Mercury's in its domicile zodiac sign, and Mercury rules the zodiac sign of Gemini. This is his temple, the ninth house. So Mercury's in a very strong position here. So this is like the story continues now in Mercury opening up financial, social opportunities and intellectual pursuits. So this is continuing on, where now it's all about making the connections with a spiritual path, relationship with God. Where do your beliefs and values now really come into focus? What does it take to make a dream a reality? What's foreign to you? What are foreign places, and how do you need to make connections with foreign people, places, and places that can expand you in some way, shape, or form, or a partner or a connection? What about higher education? What about travel destinations? All of these things will start really becoming a focus with Mercury in Gemini, because Mercury's so strong here. So it is about, including the Sun being here as well, transiting next to Mercury. This just really indicates like there's a big world out there, and what are your beliefs? What are your values? Get to it. Let's go and let's grow. And a partner really might be quite inspiring at this time. If you felt like half in, half out, not real sure, things really start to open up, or things or an opportunity start opening up for you, where you can start rubbing social shoulders with people that can take you into a new direction. And again, it is Gemini, so we're talking about a very spring, excitable zodiac sign. And Gemini is mutable energy, and that means it's flexible, it's adaptable, and it's changeable, which is good. And what I do like is that Saturn now in Aries, and also Neptune in Aries, and your ruling planet in Aries, Venus, is sextiling the ninth house. So this indicates relationships and partners or agreements are easily had, if you will, and easily excitable about the ninth house of travel, foreign people, places, spaces, higher education, spiritual practices, your beliefs and your values and faith about life. So it's quite good and easy for you to jump in where angels be to tread, if you will, or a partner might be, and you just be like, wow. So interesting, from the 26th of May, when Mercury ingresses into its own temple of Gemini, your ninth house. On the 27th, the next day, we've got a new moon, very different lunar phase than the one on the 12th. We have a new moon in Gemini. This one's at 6 degrees in their 9th house. So the sun and the moon are having an intimate conversation. This is a quiet moment on the 27th. So it's quiet time. And this is the time where you can feel intuitively that, something big is brewing here on the 27th, and you might need to take some alone time on this day, or you and a partner just might need to simmer it down because there's something big breaking on the horizon. It's not there yet, but something is brewing. So you may be starting a new course, a new contract, an agreement, a new travel plan, something to do with higher education or a spiritual path. You might be ready, but it's only in its infancy stage because it's a new moon. And the ruler of the new moon, Mercury, on the 27th is trining retrograde Pluto in Aquarius. And this is about intimate relationships, children if applicable, and what gives you joy and pleasure. So this is really, really nice because the ruler of this new moon, where it's about quite new beginnings, things are about to open up with the 9th house topics, is connected to sense of joy and pleasure, or a partner or a child, or the opportunity to have children if you don't have any yet. So things are lining up lovely on the 27th, and it's just the seeding point. It's not in fruition, but there's excitement brewing here. With Gemini and Aquarius, those zodiac signs trining one another, they're air zodiac signs. So this is a lot of intellectual stimulation. This could have to do with contracts, paperwork, travel, and also, excuse me. Excuse me. It could also have to do with something futuristic or against the status quo, is what I'm getting. Yeah. Something not mainstream, something new happening on the 27th. That's just my little instinct here. On the 30th, the sun conjuncts Mercury. So the sun and Mercury, like the sun and moon, they come into complete harmony. So the sun's in the Mercury, is in the heart of the sun. So we just had that new moon on the 27th, only 3 days before, where things are starting to get exciting for you, Libra rising, you or a partner. Excuse me. So they're in conjunction, and I think this will be the day, the 30th, where you get an offer, an invitation, a contract on the 30th. It also looks like a potentially a new ally comes in to assist you. And that means when you get assistance from an ally, this is like a third party giving you assistance in some way, shape, or form, like through a service, through finance, possibly through someone advocating for you on this day, and it's quite positive on the 30th. So I would expect support coming in hot here on the 30th of May for you with the Sun conjunct Mercury in Gemini. That's your astrology for the month of May, Libra rising. I trust you have yourself a wonderful month. If you have any questions about astrology, or you're interested in my astrological services, what kind of readings I do, you can contact me at cosmicgirl101@protonmail.com. I would love to work with you. And if you could be so kind, Libra rising, if you're new here and you like the content, consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, share the video with those newest and dear to you. Let them know how your month's looking, if you will. It'd be great to liberate. If you have a partner and you guys are in flux, or not too sure about committing to something together, or a partner's struggling to make a choice, a new move, then this would be a great video to share with them so they'll know, whatever they're about to embark on or whatever you guys are doing, it's going to take some teething experiences to get it right. But at least, things are actually happening and opportunities are there to move forward with your well-laid plans or your partner's well-laid plans. So that looks quite exciting. And that's a great way to share the astrology with those nearest and dear to you as well. Okay, Libra rising. Till next time, stay cosmic.